Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are really diving into something fundamental. It shakes pretty much everything in our lives, but often we don't even see it happening. And just so you know, this deep dive comes to you by hackingthematrix.net. Anyway, we're looking at this challenge, right? That feeling we've all had. You decide to make a real change, maybe a health kick, a big goal, you go at it with all this willpower, full focus.
The total determination.
Exactly. And then somehow it just fizzles out. You slide back. It's so frustrating, isn't it? Has you felt that?
Oh, absolutely. That experience of like hitting a wall, that's exactly what our sources dig into. They basically say that just using conscious willpower, it's often like fighting a hidden current, a much stronger one. The real secret, they argue, the key to lasting change, whether it's manifestation, mindset, success, it's understanding your subconscious mind.
Subconscious, okay.
Yeah. Once you get how to work with it, not just, push against old habits consciously, things can really start to shift, sometimes incredibly fast. It's a whole other level of reality hacking, really.
Okay, let's unpack that then. Because subconscious mind, that term gets thrown around a lot. Based on the sources, what is it really? How would you define it clearly?
Good question. Think of it like your personal internal operating system. It's the software running constantly in the background. It's behind your thoughts, your actions, your gut reactions, your emotions.
It's the operating system.
Okay, and here's the kicker. The research suggests it controls something like, 95% of your daily behavior?
95%. Seriously.
Seriously. So most of the time, we're essentially living on autopilot, guided by this programming we're not even consciously aware of.
Wow, 95% on autopilot. That puts things in perspective. Our conscious mind, the bit-making plans, is just a tiny part of the picture then. So what's actually in this system? What's it storing that gives it so much control?
It's like this huge, incredibly detailed database. It holds all your core beliefs, what you really think about money, about love, about yourself, what you believe is possible, plus all your emotional patterns, everything you've learned from past experiences, traumas included, and all your habits, your automatic reactions, essentially your identity level stuff. It's the filter for how you see everything, all running beneath the surface.
Okay, so if that's the case, if 95% is autopilot based on these deep beliefs and patterns, it makes you wonder about positive thinking. We hear that all the time, right? Just think positive. But if the system is running on old code, how effective can that really be? What did the sources say?
That's a really critical point they make. Positive thinking alone, it often just doesn't cut it. It's like scratching the surface. Imagine your conscious mind saying, I want this amazing new job.
Right.
But if the subconscious, the 95% has this deep belief like, I'm not good enough or success is dangerous, guess which one usually wins?
The subconscious program.
Almost every time. It's like trying to install new software on an old, incompatible computer. It just won't run properly. For real change, the sources are clear. You have to go deeper. You need to reprogram that source code, the subconscious itself.
That makes perfect sense. It's not lack of willpower, it's conflicting programs.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. The sources say the subconscious operates silently, right, beneath our awareness, but it literally shapes so much. It's like this invisible force directing things. How does it actually do that? How does it shape our reality in such tangible ways?
It's subtle, but incredibly powerful. Because it is the operating system, it basically dictates three key things. First, what you attract. If your programming vibes with abundance, guess what shows up more?
Opportunities, yeah.
Exactly. And conversely, it decides what you reject. If you have a hidden belief that, say, love leads to pain, your subconscious might actually push potential partners away, even if consciously you want love.
Wow. Okay. Rejecting things.
And third, this one's really subtle. It defines what feels normal or possible for you, your comfort zone, your sense of limitation. That's all governed by these subconscious programs.
So it's not just about what we want, but what our internal system believes is safe or normal or even what we deserve. And this sounds like exactly where self-sabotage comes from, right? It's not like we consciously decide to mess things up.
Spot on. The sources talk about this a lot. Like, if your subconscious deeply believes success is unsafe for some reason, maybe based on past experience, or that lots of money will isolate you, or deep love always ends badly, it will actively work to keep you aligned with those beliefs. It's trying to keep you safe in what it knows, even if what it knows is limiting or painful.
So it creates situations where we fail or miss chances.
Exactly. Or repeat the same patterns in relationships or finances. It's the subconscious maintaining its status quo.
That's, yeah, a bit sobering. thinking our own mind might be working against our goals, but there's hope, right? The sources definitely say we can reprogram this. We're not stuck.
Absolutely not stuck. That's the really empowering part. Yes, it's powerful, but it's not set in stone. It can be reprogrammed. We have ways, tools to access that code and rewrite it. And when we do, our external reality starts to change too.
Okay, fantastic. So for everyone listening now, thinking, right, I want to do this, how do we actually start hacking this internal system? The sources laid out 4 simple but really powerful tools. Where do we begin?
Okay, tool number 1, affirmations with emotion. Now, most people think affirmations mean just like repeating words.
Yeah, chanting in the mirror.
Right. But the sources really zero in on the key thing. It's not just the words, it's the feeling, the emotion, the energy you put behind them. You have to connect with it, feel it in your body as if it's already true. It's about emotional recalibration, not just mental repetition.
Got it. So not just saying I am confident, but feeling that confidence surge through you. The example they gave was good. I am safe to succeed. I trust life to support me. You're meant to really feel that safety, that trust, right?
Precisely. That emotion bypasses the logical mind and speaks the language of the subconscious. Okay, next tool, visualization. Your subconscious responds much more powerfully to images than just words alone.
Images over words. Okay.
So don't just think about your goal. Create these vivid mental movies. See yourself living it. Feel the emotions. Notice the details. Basically, you're showing your subconscious what the desired reality looks and feels like. The brain doesn't really know the difference between vividly imagined and real.
Mental movies. I like that. Okay, this next one feels like a bit of a secret weapon. Sleep programming. How on earth does that work? Sounds almost too easy.
It's surprisingly effective because of the brain state you enter right before sleep.
Okay.
As you're drifting off, your brain waves change, and you enter this really suggestible state, often called the theta state. Your conscious mind's guard is down. So listening to affirmations or guided meditations then, the messages can sink in more directly, bypassing resistance. You're basically reprogramming while you rest.
Wow. Using sleep to rewire things. That's pretty cool. Okay, what's the 4th tool in this toolkit?
The 4th one is journaling from your future self. This isn't just writing about your day.
Right. Different kind of journaling.
Yeah. You write your entries as if your desired life is already here, now, today. You describe your day from the perspective of having achieved your goals. What does it feel like? What are you grateful for in this new reality?
So writing as if it's already happened.
Exactly. The sources say this helps create new neural pathways. You're building the mental blueprint for success, training your subconscious to accept this future as now. It starts to feel familiar, achievable.
Okay, affirmations with feeling, visualization, sleep programming, and future self-journaling. These sound powerful and actually pretty doable. So if it's this accessible, what's stopping people? Why isn't everyone just reprogramming and living their dreams? What's the main blockage?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the sources point to something really interesting. It's often not the fear of failure that holds us back most.
No. What then?
It's the fear of change itself. Remember, the subconscious loves the familiar. Its job is to keep things stable, predictable, safe. So it clings to what it knows, even if what it knows is painful or limiting. The known discomfort often feels safer than the unknown possibility, even if that possibility is amazing.
Ah, that makes so much sense. We want the new thing, but the process of getting there feels threatening to the old system, the fear of the unknown. So how do we tackle that fundamental resistance to change?
The source material offers a really potent question, one that can kind of unlock things. You need to pause and ask yourself, really ask, what belief must I let go of to receive what I say I want?
Ooh, okay. What belief must I let go of?
Yeah. It forces you to look past the surface desire and identify the underlying subconscious program, the familiar limitation that's keeping you stuck. What comfortable, maybe painful belief is your subconscious clinging to? Just reflecting on that can be huge. It's the start of letting go.
That question really makes you think, confronting those internal conflicts. Okay, so bringing it back to the bigger theme. When the sources talk about hacking the matrix, especially with all this subconscious stuff, are they talking about society or is it more personal?
Great question. When we use that phrase, hacking the matrix, in this context, yes, there are external systems, societal structures, but primarily, we're talking about the internal matrix. Your personal invisible web of beliefs, patterns, programs, that's what creates your individual experience of reality. That's the matrix we're focused on hacking here.
The internal matrix and the subconscious mind. That's the command center for that matrix.
That's exactly it. It's the control room. It processes everything, dictates your reactions, runs the show based on its current programming. And the amazing insight is, once you get that subconscious programming aligned with your conscious goals,
Yeah.
things just start to flow. Everything
The
accelerates.
gears finally meshing properly.
Precisely. You're working with your own powerful internal system, not fighting against it.
And what does that alignment look like? What actually changes for people when that happens?
When that internal world clicks into place with your goals, the sources say things shift dramatically. Manifestation starts feeling, well, natural, effortless almost. Things just seem to show up.
Yep.
Confidence stops being something you try to have. It becomes embodied. It's just who you are. And maybe the biggest thing, peace. A real sense of inner peace becomes your default state because you're not battling yourself anymore. You're operating from coherence.
Wow. Okay, so it's undeniable then, the power of the subconscious.
Yeah.
It's not just some abstract idea. It's a real tool,
Yeah.
a force, a portal even.
Exactly. So if you're listening and you want to manifest more wealth or find deep love or live your purpose or just feel more peace, the core message is, don't just double down on external effort. Don't just hustle harder against the current. Go deeper. Reprogram your internal world, that internal matrix. Get it aligned. The external results, they will follow. That's how we really hack the matrix. Not by force, but by frequency, by changing our internal state.
So maybe the question for everyone listening is, what's running in your internal matrix right now? And what could you reprogram?